Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to another video. We are back with FA Cup predictions, Sophie. It's the final 8, the quarter-finals, and our team is still in there.
I know, who would have thought that?
Yes guys, we are down to the final 8, as I say, the quarter-finals. Wolves, Coventry, Man City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Leicester, Man United and Liverpool. We're going to be predicting the quarter-finals today guys, so make sure to get your predictions down in the comments. Whether your team is involved or not, let us know your predictions for these 4 massive games. Who's going to be going to the Wembley semi-finals? Make sure before we get into the predictions guys that you have locked in a thumbs up. Hit the like button. We'll go for 1,500 likes on this one. It's free to drop a like, so why wouldn't you? Hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe as well, as it's free to do, and we're closing in on 59,000 subscribers. Like and subscribe, and let's get into the predictions, Sophie, where for a change I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, go on.
Let's start at Molineux, Sophie, where it is Wolves versus Coventry City. Of course, we have a vested interest in this. We'll try and stay as neutral as possible, but it is, of course, exciting, Sophie. Myself and yourself are going to Molineux, so look out for our match vlog, whether you're a Wolves or Coventry fan, coming out on Saturday. Let's run through it quickly, Sophie. Wolves having a great season in the Premier League. They're actually, they could still make Europe.
Yeah, they could. They had a great win on the weekend as well against Fulham, despite having a few players go off injured, so I think that's a great result in the Prem.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I actually predicted them to beat Fulham 2-1, and yeah, it's been a really good season when you consider how unsure us and the rest of the world were about Wolves coming into this season. Gary O'Neill has done a very good job, and on this FA Cup run, Wolves have knocked out Brighton. They've also knocked out West Bromwich Albion. It's another West Midlands derby, obviously not as fierce as Wolves versus West Brom. Coventry come here, Sophie, fighting for the Championship playoffs, and you feel like we can come here and say it's a bit of fun, but when I say that, I'm not saying we're definitely going to lose and we're going to take it easy. There's a 2-week international break coming. I don't mind if we go 120 minutes because there's that recovery time afterwards.
I agree, yeah.
I want us to go for this because we're 1 win from Wembley, and Coventry have only got to the semi-finals once, and that was when we won the competition in '87. We've got to the quarter-finals a few times, but only the semi-finals once. In fact, 51 years ago, Coventry got to the FA Cup quarter-finals in 1973 and lost away to Wolves 2-0 at Molineux. As for Wolves' FA Cup history, they've won the competition 4 times, but haven't been to the final since they last won it in 1960. Can we get past Wolves, Sophie? Let's have a prediction.
Go on. So, what's kind of swung it for me, when the draw was getting picked, I was really hoping for a home tie because there's some really big teams left in it. I thought the best chance we've got is a home fixture. However, we've got Wolves, and they're a very, very good team, very, very strong attackingly and very good defensively as well. They've had a few players get injuries recently. I'm hoping that Kuna is still out injured because he's a great player. I don't want to wish long injuries on players, but a couple of games out would be great for some of their best players. Because of that, it has swayed my prediction. I'm going 2-1 to the Sky Blues. We're going to Wembley.
Oh, Sophie!
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Oh, you better not have jinxed that,
No,
but I love that from you. Yeah, I don't think it's impossible. That's one thing we must say. I know Wolves are favourites.
Yes,
people that aren't Coventry fans are going to be saying, well, that's ridiculous. You've only gone for them because you're a Coventry fan. We do throw in upsets every so often, so why can't it be this game?
Yep.
Coventry have been, you know, better in the Championship over the last couple of games, back-to-back wins. However, if you're going to be good cop, I'm going to be bad cop. I think Coventry can come here and give it a real go, but I think Wolves might just edge this. Even with a couple of their best players out, they've still got a very good team.
Very good.
They are where they are in the Premier League for a reason. So with that said, I'm going to say a few more goals actually, but I'm going to give it to Wolves. I'll say Wolves 3, Coventry 2. Of course, I don't want to lose. I'm going there hoping Coventry can win. I am being realistic when I say we're not favourites to win. I just have a feeling Wolves might have the edge on this. It could go to extra time, is what I'm thinking as well.
It could, I think.
I think Coventry might start the better team, but ultimately, over the 90 or over the 120, I'm just going to give it to Wolves. So, there you go. We've gone either way.
Okay, yeah.
Share your thoughts, guys, if you're a Wolves fan or a Coventry fan. If you see us at Molineux, do say hello. I am absolutely buzzing for that one. On to the next one, Sophie. Let's go to the Etihad, where it is Manchester City versus Newcastle United. Manchester City, the holders of the FA Cup, of course. They beat Manchester United in the final last year. They take on Newcastle, Sophie, who I've had a feeling could go on a decent cup run because they are looking for silverware, aren't they? It's one of the objectives of the new owner. You know, let's win something. Let's put ourselves back on the map. But they've run into trouble here, Sophie. They've drawn the short straw. They've got
nobody wanted Man City.
They've got Man City away. Ultimately, you're probably going to have to face Man City at some point if you're going to win the FA Cup. But you'd rather do it at Wembley or something where if you win, you've won it all. Newcastle could beat Man City and then still not win the FA Cup.
True.
Which is actually what they did in the Carabao Cup this season. They knocked out Man United and Man City to then go and lose to Chelsea on penalties. For this one, Sophie, with it being at the Etihad, I think Man City really do have a strong chance here. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I think I'd probably back Man City either way, to be honest. But purely because it's at the Etihad, I might throw in another goal. I'm going to say Man City 3-1 winners for me, just because Newcastle haven't actually looked as good in their last couple of games. And Man City are good. Even if they were to rest a couple of players, the players that they've got on the bench are good enough to then go out there and get the win. So for me, Man City win. And as I said, 3-1.
Yeah, funnily enough, I've written down my prediction and I've gone Man City 3-1.
Okay.
I'd love to see Newcastle United get through. That would be amazing. And, you know, it'd really sort of open the competition up to other teams. But Man City, Sophie, they are so strong. And it always feels like in the last 2-3 months of the season, they've got all their best players back. And they just go for it on every competition.
Edison is out, though. They're saying Edison's out for a few weeks. So would that play a part? Not enough for me.
No, I agree. I think Newcastle get a goal, but with De Bruyne and Haaland, they're going to outscore them. So we're both going Man City 3-1. On to the next game, Sophie, as we go to Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea versus Leicester City. How about this one? Leicester City had a terrible FA Cup record against Chelsea, losing their last 5 games in a row against them in this competition until they won it in 2021. This was the final that year, and that was the first time Leicester City ever won the FA Cup. This time round, though, Sophie, it feels a little bit different. Chelsea are the strong favourites. Leicester City are now a Championship side. Leicester come here obviously top of the Championship. They might not be at the end of the weekend because Leeds are playing in the Championship and Leicester won't be. They take on Chelsea, Sophie, who have maybe just started to look a bit better.
They have.
It's difficult with Chelsea. I try not to get carried away because they've been really good in small pockets this season. But if you get too excited by it, you're going to be left disappointed because Chelsea can flatline. But let's give them credit. Monday night, 3-2 win against Newcastle. I thought they played really well, took their chances. Cole Palmer's been such a good signing, really.
He has, yeah, he's been instrumental in their good form, to be honest.
And this game might just have come at the right time for Chelsea. If you said this game was a month ago, I might have thought Leicester could actually win this because Leicester have had a really good season. Chelsea were a bit wobbly. But coming into this, Chelsea have maybe just started to recover, and Leicester, their focus has now got to really be on the Championship because they might not actually get top 2 after all, even though it's looked a certainty this season. I still think they will.
Yes,
but their form has dipped, there's no doubt about that. Let's have a prediction, Sophie.
I'm going to go quite heavy in favour of Chelsea, actually, purely because Leicester's form at the moment has dipped. They should prioritise the Championship because it wasn't that long ago that they won the FA Cup. Obviously, silverware would be great, but their priority right now needs to be promotion.
Has to be.
It has to be. And doing it automatically has got to be the way as well. They can't be doing it in the playoffs, not after how big a lead they had. Also, what you said, Chelsea have been playing much better recently as well. They've looked a much better team. They seem to be gelling a bit more. I don't think it's complete yet, but they're gelling more. And for me, Chelsea win 3-0.
3-0, yeah. And obviously we need to highlight as well with Leicester City, overspending.
Yeah, so they're going to get hit, aren't they, by financial fair play.
The last thing I saw, Sophie, is they could get a points deduction on their return to the Premier League.
Next season,
bit of a strange situation there for Leicester. As for this game, Sophie, I'm going to lean towards Chelsea for the reasons we've highlighted. They come into this in the better form now. But I don't think it'll be as one-sided. I'll go for a narrow Chelsea win. I'll go Chelsea 2-1. I think it could go the distance as well. I think Chelsea take the lead, Leicester bring it level, Chelsea win it late on. So I think Leicester give it a good go, but once they're out, they can really focus on the Championship promotion race.
Yes, which they need to be honest.
There you go. On to the final game then, Sophie, and let's save the best till last. At Old Trafford, Manchester United versus Liverpool. Sophie, what do you make of Manchester United versus Liverpool?
Do you know what? I feel like this one could be a tight game. Obviously, Liverpool have got quite a few players out injured. Man United have got a couple of players out injured as well. With it being at Old Trafford, do I think Man United could be the favourites? No. I think, for me, Liverpool are the favourites, but I'm going to say a tight one. For me, Liverpool edge it 2-1.
Oh, you're jumping in with your prediction already.
Yeah.
What did you make of Liverpool in the Man City game last week, by the way?
Do you know what? I think a draw was actually fair for that performance. Obviously, Man City at certain times, they could have took more of the lead, but when you've gone 1-0 down and then you're walking away with a point, it's not the end of the world. Then at the end there was a little bit of controversy, should they have had a penalty possibly, but as I say, Man City could have put the game to bed before that as well, so quite evenly matched.
Yes. What it does mean, Sophie, is Liverpool are kind of still fighting on all four fronts here. They've won the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
The Premier League looks very close. Europa League, I think Liverpool are the favourites, and for the FA Cup, Soph, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if Man United win because they've got the home advantage. Now, in Liverpool and Manchester United's last 10 Premier League meetings, Manchester United have only won one of them. They've only won one of the last 10. But when it comes to the FA Cup, in their last 5 meetings, Liverpool have only won 2 and Manchester United have won 3. So in recent years, in the FA Cup, Manchester United have actually had the upper hand.
Yeah.
But that said, I will go for Liverpool. Man United certainly seem to have recovered at times, but then they can sort of let you down the next week. Good win against Everton at the weekend, but I think Liverpool edged this. I think with it being FA Cup, Jurgen Klopp rotates and it makes the game close. I could actually see Man United winning, but no, I'm going to go with Liverpool. I've been backing Liverpool a lot this season and it very rarely lets me down. So Liverpool 2-1, same as you.
Same as me.
I'm going to match you up. How many competitions do you actually think they're going to win out of the 4 that they're in this year?
3.
Ooh.
I won't say which ones.
Oh, you won't say which ones. Boo, fence sitter. Well, there you go. That wraps up our Premier League predictions. Make sure to share your thoughts on Man United versus Liverpool down in the comments. All 8 of the FA Cup quarter-finalists this year are previous FA Cup winners, and this is how many FA Cups they have won in their history. Coventry and Leicester both with 1, and as you can see, Manchester United with the most with 12. Arsenal are in fact the team with the most FA Cups with 14, but obviously they've already been eliminated. Which of these 8 are going to add 1 more to their tally at the end of this season? That wraps it up, guys. 4 massive quarter-finals, and like I say, 2 Championship teams, 6 Premier League teams fighting for places in the FA Cup semi-finals, which are held at Wembley. Would it be great to see Cov get there? We've never seen it in our lifetime.
We will be there.
We will be there.
We will be there.
I hope your prediction comes true, but whatever happens, we'd be bound to face one of the massive teams in the next round.
And then we won't be there.
Good luck to everyone, guys, especially if your team is in the FA Cup. It's a bit of fun if you share your predictions, so make sure to do so. Make sure to drop a like. It's free to do that, so why wouldn't you? We're going for 1,500 likes, and also make sure you are subscribed. It's free to subscribe, so why wouldn't you do that as well? Like, subscribe, comment and share your predictions, and thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.